morning, beloveds. It is actually morning this morning. Yay. Because last night I did... So you're getting these 12 hours apart if you're watching it live, but I don't know that anybody saw it last night. You're not used to us being on at 9 o'clock at night, but, you know. I don't know. I'm not awake. I'm not awake. It's Sunday. I was outside all day yesterday, so I turned the alarm off. Okay. The only thing I know is that it might rain for the next week, which is not a bad thing. So I hope everybody stays dry. Or, if you want to, go dance in the rain. It is May 16th. The title is My Life Shows Forth the Spirit That Never Fails, and Constructive Action Fills My Day. The Bible quote is, "And if I be lifted up from the earth, shall draw all men unto me." And that is John 12:32. When Jesus spoke of being lifted up from the earth, he meant that which is human about us must consciously become united with the divine. In ancient writings, the earth stood for the lowest form of life, while heaven represented the highest. Therefore, being lifted up from earth meant uniting the earth with heaven. This daily lifting up of our thoughts is necessary if we wish to so unite ourselves and everything we are doing with the divine, the spiritual power that flows through us and into all our acts. I am now waiting upon the Spirit within me. I know that it is close to me and that it governs my life in harmony and peace. I know that through me it brings joy and happiness to everyone I meet. Through the power of this indwelling Spirit, I am a blessing to myself and to others. I am lifting up my whole mind in faith to the realization that the Spirit of God is within me, and that this perfect Spirit is my real self. I invite the Spirit to direct my thoughts and acts, and I believe that it is doing so. I expect new ideas, new thoughts, and new ways of doing things to stimulate my imagination into action. I invite and expect new circumstances and situations. I know that as they present themselves, the intelligence within me will accept them and act upon them. I know that the divine presence within me will make itself known to every person I meet, to every situation I contact, and I know that it will bring life and joy to everything and everyone. All right, so I had a thought. In here, he makes a line of, I am lifting my whole mind up. And here it is. Okay, this is the one. I invite the Spirit to direct my thoughts and acts, and I believe that it is doing so. Now, that's one of the things I find interesting, is that I invite the Spirit to direct my thoughts and acts, which means that when a situation happens and I am going to either respond to it or react to it or respond to it. If I take a moment and invite Spirit to guide me, and I just closed the book. I invite Spirit to direct my thoughts and acts. That means I'm taking a moment to respond rather than react. And I'm going to think about what I'm about to do or say. And that is very, very important, because when we respond, we tend to respond more lovingly, more compassionately, more kindly, versus when we react. Because when we react, which we frequently do without thinking, we are reacting with our baser instincts, with fear. Now, that's not always the case, because we can train ourselves to react. But that means daily spiritual practice. That means working on that response. And that means going to Spirit every day. So we invite Spirit every day to direct our actions, and then we are more likely to react with love. But if we're not there yet, then we take that moment, we invite Spirit to direct our actions, then we will respond with love and compassion. And the situation will probably work out better. I mean, that's basic human nature there. So, my life shows forth the spirit that never fails, and constructive action fills my day. By going with spirit first, by going with love first, by going with compassion first, by going with kindness first. And the Bible quote, I had no idea. So I'm glad that Ernest put it in context. Because I was like, and if I be lifted up from earth, shall draw all men unto me. But that's the truth. It is the truth. Knowing that Jesus said it helps. When we up-level our thinking, then we can't help but bring the people around us with us. And as the people around us up-level their thinking, because we have up-leveled ours, then all of the people that they come in contact with up-level their thinking. And eventually, we'll all get there. So when Jesus spoke of being lifted up from the earth, he meant that which is human about as much consciously become united with the divine. Taking that moment to think about it. When you're put in a situation where you can respond, and you take a minute to think about it, and consciously unite with the divine. And that's the biggest thing. It's like consciously. We consciously unite with the divine until it becomes second nature. Until we react with the divine instead and no, but we still need to take that moment to consciously unite with the divine. At least in spiritual practice. So the more often we do it, the more practice we have at it, the more likely we are to hit that unconscious response. Because we've done it consciously enough. But it's still, almost in every situation, better to unite with the divine before we respond. In ancient writings, the earth stood for the lowest form of life, while heaven represented the highest. Therefore, being lifted from the earth means uniting earth with heaven. Because it's possible. It's possible. We are worthy. It just means we have to do it consciously. We have to work on it. And that's the point of spiritual practice, to work on that connection. But spiritual practice shouldn't be a chore. It shouldn't. Spiritual practice should be a joy. Which means if it is not a joy, then you haven't found the spiritual practice that resonates with you. And maybe I should say that more often. It's like, if you're busy sitting cross-legged on a pillow in lotus position with your eyes closed and absolutely miserable, it's not the spiritual practice for you. It means go out and try a different form of spiritual practice. Whatever unites you with the divine is a spiritual practice. So when you find something that you love, that's your spiritual practice. And it doesn't mean that you have to have just one. It means you can have multiple spiritual practices. Honest to God, one of my spiritual practices is running. Can I do it every day? No. It means I find other spiritual practices. I have a few in my bag of tricks. So whatever brings you close to the divine that you enjoy doing, that's your spiritual practice. If you're doing a spiritual practice that somebody else told you to do and you hate it, it's not a spiritual practice. Find something else. Find something that brings you to that love, that peace, that joy, that harmony, that creativity. Baking can be a spiritual practice. Running is a spiritual practice. Biking is a spiritual practice. Gardening is a spiritual practice. Whatever brings you close to the divine. All right. This daily lifting up of our thoughts is necessary if we wish to unite ourselves and everything we are doing with the divine. The spiritual power that flows through us and into all of our acts. That is spiritual practice in a nutshell. Find the one that speaks to you. Find the several that speak to you. Because nobody should have just one. Because everybody needs more than one option. So find the one that really speaks to you, and then find some others that you can do mixed in with that. If it doesn't bring you joy, love, creativity, it's not your spiritual practice. Might be the Dalai Lama's spiritual practice, but if it doesn't work for you, not a spiritual practice. Find something that does. Because I believe that the Dalai Lama would recognize anything that you do that brings you closer to God as a spiritual practice. I am now waiting upon the Spirit within me. I know that it is close to me and that it governs my life in harmony and peace. I know that the power it brings... I'm just making words up today. I know that through it, it brings joy and happiness to everyone I meet. When I react or respond with Spirit, through Spirit, with all of those qualities of God, or just one of those qualities of God, then people around me are better for it because I'm better for it. And I'm not out to fix anybody or to change anybody. I am out to be the best me that I can. I'm out to be the godling, the child of God that I know that I am. And I'm out to treat people like the godlings or the children of God that I know that they are. So I'm not trying to fix you. I'm not trying to change you. I'm just treating you for who I know you are. If you walk away from that better, bonus. You know? I'm not going to walk up to you and shake my finger in your face and say, you're a child of God, act better. I'm not going to do that. Well, okay. If you're really acting out of line, yeah, I probably will. But I'm not going to come up and shake my finger at you. I'm going to come up to you and go, hey, how's it going? You want to talk about this for a minute? So that people walk away from me feeling better than they may have walked into my presence. Although, God bless me, I love happy people. Happy people are my kind of people. Kind people are my kind of people. I like to be around people that feel good. But I will absolutely run into the burning building of people who don't feel good. If it is safe for me to do so, don't let me kid you. If somebody's burning their house down on purpose, I'm not necessarily going to run in there and put out the fire. I'll call the fire department. Okay? So, yeah. Through the power of this indwelling Spirit, I am a blessing to myself and others. If I am living in the qualities of God, then I am a blessing to myself. And if I am treating other people with the qualities of God, I am a blessing to other people. I don't have to do anything other than be my authentic self. I am lifting up my whole mind in faith to the realization that the Spirit of God is within me, and that this perfect Spirit is my real self. This perfect Spirit, this whole Spirit, this loving Spirit, this creative Spirit, this happy Spirit, all of that, that's who I really am. All of the things that religion, culture, society, other people have told me, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. And I'm going to match it up against Spirit and go, does this fit? And if it does, I'll keep it. And if it doesn't, I'm going to chuck it. Because the opinions of people are worth exactly the weight that I give them. And if they don't match up with the child of God that I know that I am, they're not worth keeping. I invite the Spirit to direct my thoughts and acts, and I believe that it is doing so because it is going to do it in loving, kind compassion. I expect new ideas, new thoughts, and new ways of doing things to stimulate my imagination into action. I invite and expect new circumstances and situations. I keep wanting to say experiences. Circumstances is just a weird word. That's earnest, though. I know that as they present themselves, the intelligence within me will accept them and act upon them. Meaning that I know that when I get those clues for whatever it is that I'm going to be doing, Spirit's going to push me in the right direction. And I'm going to take advantage of all the directions and the signals and the signs and have a good time. I know that the divine presence within me will make itself known to every person I meet, to every situation I contact. Because I have a light within me. You have a light within me. I choose not to hide my light under a bushel basket. And I hope that everybody else recognizes they don't need to hide their light under a bushel basket. They don't. If the light that is shining through you is not being welcomed by the people around you, those are not your people. Love them and bless them and let them go. And go find people that appreciate your light so you don't have to hide it under a bushel basket. All right? Plain words. I know that it will bring life and joy to everything and everyone. Allowing that divine presence that we are to shine through blesses everyone that we meet. And when we don't let that light shine through, it's not that we have to bless other people, it's that we get to. But we also don't bless ourselves when we're hiding that light, when we're hiding that divine presence. So, if the people around you don't appreciate your light, don't hide your light. Go find different people. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it. It's just straight up. I got words coming out all different directions today. Well, I mean, it's about elevating thoughts. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to lift up our thoughts into the divine, to know who we are, and to recognize that spirit within us, and to not hide our divine light under a bushel basket, to let it shine. Because when we let that divine light shine, we attract the people that are our people. It's like, what is it? Let your weird light shine. So all of the weirdos like you know where to find you. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm on to using the weird, because I'm weird. And I own it. I own my weird. And if you can't handle my weird, that's okay. You're not my people. I will bless you and we will both move on. And if you are my kind of weirdo, then we're going to have a good time. So, yeah, let your light shine. That's your mission today. Let your light shine. But your other mission today is the same mission I give you every day, to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. And right now, for me, that's to go get a drink of water. I can hear it in my voice. It's allergy season, and I forgot to take my allergy stuff last night. After being outside all day, what was I thinking? That's the point, I wasn't. So do something loving, do something kind, do something compassionate, be it big or little, do it every day. The more you practice it, the more it will become your default. It will become your second nature. And in those moments when you react rather than respond, you will do it in that loving and kind and compassionate way. Because we can absolutely train ourselves into that. The more conscious we are of the divine, the more we integrate it into who we are all the time. So, that's it. I would tell you to do something to engage your mind and your body today, but hey, it's Sunday. It's a Sabbath. If you need to take the day and rest, please do that. Please do that. We can engage our mind tomorrow. We can engage our mind and body tomorrow. I don't see any sun, so yeah, I don't know about that. And we may not for a week, but that's okay too. We can just get some good bright light. But drink some water. Take care of yourself. Know that you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. This is the state of grace that we live in. It is. I don't know if it's cool enough to open our actual windows and get some fresh air. But, as always, I do encourage you, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven now. Always and forever. The more we look, the more we see, the more we see, the more there is, and the closer we get to that world that works for everyone. All right, beloveds. It's Sunday, so that means that there will be an amazing service right here on Facebook Live at 11 a.m. And then Reverend David should be on 5 p.m. Facebook Live on 5 p.m. with you, and I will be back with Facebook Live at 9 a.m. with you tomorrow. And as always, these are archived on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. So, feel free to go look them up there too. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day. And know that you are loved.